Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to one of my games in the Super Pershing. This is the Tier 8 Premium American Medium, quote-unquote, tank. Now this is patch 9.7. I believe this was the patch in which they gave the Super Pershing a much-needed buff to its armour, seeing as that's the only thing the Super Pershing has going for it. We're here on Sand River. This is, of course, as I say, patch 9.7, so this is before they made the changes to this map. And this replay, it's not about me playing particularly well or anything funky like that. What is it about? Well, if you've been playing the game long enough, or this applies outside of this game, just to things in general. If you've been doing something for a while, I find you tend to get a kind of instinctive feel for some bits of it. And you get that little voice in your head that will tell you when it thinks something you're about to do is a really dumb idea and you shouldn't do it. And usually that little voice in your head is worth listening to. But often people ignore it because that little voice in your head doesn't tell you the things you want to hear. I should probably point out, I'm talking about voices in your head. I'm not talking about those little voices that tell you to burn things. You know, I'm talking about in the context of this game, for example. You don't have the gun depression to shoot someone, but you really want to shoot them, so you pop over the hill just a bit too far, but you still don't have the gun depression, so you keep popping over further and further to get the shot, and that little voice in your head is screaming, going, "This is an incredibly dumb idea, why are you doing this? Don't be stupid, this is retarded, stop it." But you ignore that voice in your head, you go, you get your shot off, maybe you hit, maybe you don't, and then you die, because you have exposed the entirety of your tank to all the guns on the enemy team, and you go squish. So, this video is about that sort of voice in your head. And this is going to specifically be between myself and that AMX CDC on the enemy team, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Initially, I'm facing off against another Tier 8 premium tank, that's the T-34-3, the Chinese machine. Now at this sort of range, I don't really have much to fear from him. He has a 175mm gun. Oh, I just got artilleried. No, he doesn't have a 175mm gun, that would be ridiculous. He has a 122mm gun with 175 average penetration, 390 alpha damage and terrible accuracy and aim time. And there's an IS-6. His premium round is high explosive anti-tank, and so if he tries to load that to try and go through the front of my armour because his armour piercing rounds are not working, well, the Super Pershing is covered in spaced armour from the front. There's that CDC and there's that artillery piece again. And there's a really annoying T-37. And so I really don't have much to fear from the... oh, now he's dead. From the T-34-3 at this sort of engagement range. Now, artillery is looking in this direction, which is sucky. But there we go. T-34-3, yeah. If he's just going to run across there, we're going to make him pay for it. Although we didn't pay for it by anywhere near as much as I thought he should have done, as other people flubbed their shots, but there we go. IS-6 is coming for some. We managed to put a shot through his side, which was a little bit lucky because we didn't really aim that shot properly. T-34-3 again. Nah, we bounced on him that time. And we're just backing off because these guys are pushing quite a lot. IS-6 gets tracked and gets killed before I get my shot off. We're winning this 5-0, by the way, which is nice. Managed to put a shot into the T-34-3, tracking him in the process by the look of it, but he manages to repair the track and get away even. I was about to say someone else kills him, and it's like, that's not relevant. They don't, and even if they did, how would that be relevant to whether or not I tracked him? Oh well. Aiming for the roof panel on the IS-3, because you can overmatch that with the gun on the Chaffee. It's a well, not massive weak spot, but it is a weak spot on that tank. And now I'm in a long-range duel with an AMX CDC. On the one hand, his armour is terrible, and I am likely to penetrate him if I manage to hit him. And my armour is good, and he will need to aim for weak spots, but he's playing well. He's not exposing his tank longer than he needs to. He's not popping out if someone's pre-aimed at him, you know, things like that. He's also whinging about his team, but there we go. He is actually playing a pretty decent game. We have another pop at this IS-3, and again we get another penetration into that roof section on the turret. Can we make it 3 for 3? Oh, we do, but the AMX takes the opportunity to put a shot by the look of it into the side of our turret. He's actually stationary now, but, you know, as luck would have it, this gun is not particularly accurate. And it doesn't manage to make it work. Go for the tracking shot on the IS-3, but flub it. IS-3 puts a shot into us, and now we're just going to slam straight into him and put shot after shot into his roof as he tries to find shots on our weak spot on top of our turret, and we manage to kill the guy. Scoreline is 8-4. That CDC is still there, and that CDC is still annoying. We put a shot into him, he bounces on us. We've got 600 of our health remaining. Now. Panther 2 goes to try and flush out that AMX CDC, and I decide to give him some supporting fire. That seems to make sense to me. It will take me a long time to trundle over there to help him, but the AMX CDC gets himself into a really nice position from which I cannot shoot him, and he puts shots into the Panther 2. Now, thoughts going through my head. I really need to go forwards to deal with that AMX CDC. I want to try and help my Panther 2 friend before he dies. The voice in the back of my head is saying two things. One, your Panther 2 friend is already dead, there's nothing you can do about it. Two, if you go forward and face the AMX CDC, you're going to die, and you're going to die because he has already demonstrated he's not a complete idiot. You have big weak spots that he can aim for. He can use mobility in that area to get around you. In a one-on-one duel at close range, a Super Pershing is outmatched by an AMX CDC. Don't do it, stay back here. I want to help my friend, and so I just trundle forwards. Now, the Super Pershing is not particularly quick. The second mistake I'm making actually is loading high explosive. Now, the high explosive ammunition on this tank has 45mm of penetration and does 320 alpha damage. Why is it a mistake to be loading HE? It's a mistake on two counts. Firstly, the penetration is 45. Now, I believe the armour on the CDC in a lot of places is around 30mm. If I was able to get nice big shots into nice flat areas of his armour, then yeah, sure, HE is a good choice. But if he's not going to give me much of his tank to shoot at, and every bit about the way he's played so far indicates that he's not going to make this easy, then actually the HE is going to struggle to penetrate. I can hit tracks and just splash on the tracks, there's gun mantlet, the armour will be angled, there's a whole bunch of other things. Secondly, his hit points mean that I don't need to. He's got 400 and something health. High explosive on this tank does 320 alpha damage. It is very unlikely to one-shot him. And so I'll need 2 shots. 2 shots of armor piercing can also do the job. Armor piercing is a more reliable and a better choice at this stage. Now, there we go. The voice in the back of my head is going, told you so, Panther 2's dead. Yeah. Now what you gonna do? Well, I have the health advantage over him. I can kill him in 2 shots. He will require 3 shots to kill me. I have armour, he doesn't. So I still decide to press onward. Now at this stage I'm kind of committed, because if I pull back from this guy, then I'm, you know, potentially exposing myself. I'd have to pull back in reverse. It's going to be very slow and ponderous. It's just generally going to be a bit of a nightmare. So I decide to go for it and just try and take this guy out. Can you see where this is going yet? Now I load high explosive with my first round. I'm preloading armor piercing for my second, because I'm thinking that armor piercing may not reliably two-shot the guy. And suddenly, have you noticed we were winning 10-5 at one point? I thought 10-5, easy job. It suddenly became 10-8 and now 11-8. Those enemy tank destroyers are racking up a fearsome toll. And this game is not looking quite as secure as it was when I went out on this little adventure. Well, nonetheless, I'm persevering. For better or for worse. Now, he's quite likely over on my left-hand side, despite his last known location being over toward my right. So, and there we go. Ambush, shot into the side, and suddenly we're a 2-shot for each other. Well played to him. He did that without taking a return shot. So, nicely played from that AMX. Now, at the time of playing this, I didn't really know the AMX's armor scheme that well. I just knew that his armor was bad, and so I thought high explosive would be a good choice. I since know better. There's the CDC. I managed to get a shot into him. He puts one into me. And now you can see that my HE round didn't penetrate. I didn't have much of his tank to shoot at. He's still a 2-shot. And so now loading armor piercing is stupid because I am a 1-shot for him, and without the high explosive I can't make him a 1-shot for me. So now I'm forced to use high explosive, and you see me reloading the round there, as well as backing off. And I'm outfought by this guy and outmatched. And I'm trying to get around the other side, but I'm very conscious that he can just pop up behind me. There he is. Another HE round into him. Again, doesn't penetrate, and he kills me with a snapshot. So you could argue I got a little bit unlucky there, but, well, I made some bad decisions, as it turned out. The high explosive was a bad decision. Going into this engagement was a bad decision, and I had a little voice in the back of my head telling me that, but I ignored it. And now the scoreline's 11-10. Now this AMX is a 1-shot, and as it turns out, our SU-152 does actually manage to kill him. He ambushes him as he come down. If I'd stuck with armor piercing, I likely would have been able to kill him regardless of that dodgy play anyway, and but, you know, it's just... IS6 is saying HE is a waste of time on Pershing. Well, it depends on your targets. I know what you mean. I thought the AMX's armor was bad enough. With hindsight, it wasn't. And I was feeling a bit cheesed at the time. But with hindsight, that was a bad engagement to go into. So, yeah. I went and looked up the armor scheme after this game, and it wouldn't have really been a reliable penetration. So that was a bad choice on my part. Hopefully I'm going to switch the camera view to look at other people. And I have done it before with 90mm HE, definitely. But, and I say he just got lucky. He didn't just get lucky, he played it well. He didn't give me much of his tank to shoot at. The shots I had, I would actually have been fairly lucky to get a penetration. And chasing him down was dumb, and now the scoreline is 12-12. As between them, those 3 enemy tank destroyers have 8 kills. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now I'm hoping I'm actually going to switch view. I'm just going to speed this along a little bit. We lose our SU-152 to the Ferdinand, and you can see I'm a bit peeved in chat there. And I apologise for my dodgy play. So now we have this Panther 88 and our artillery piece facing off against 3 enemy tier 8 tank destroyers. Oh, this is dicey, and our Panther 88 does not have much health on him. This is a very dicey shot. Ooh, okay, so we've got the ISU-152 who's coming for this Panther. The Ferdinand and Jagdtiger were each last spotted back at base. Now the ISU is a 1-shot, but if he goes over that ridge he's going to expose himself. And there's a Ferdinand, and this is looking bad. They're coming for this Panther. He's going to really struggle to take on that Ferdinand frontally. As it is, he goes around, gets a bit lucky that the ISU misses him, but that's the BL-10 for you, and he manages to take the ISU out. That just leaves a Ferdinand and a Jagdtiger 88. The Jagdtiger 88 is going for our artillery. The artillery is going to have to defend himself, so the Panther is on his own against this Ferdinand for now. Most likely. Ferdinand and Jagdtiger are actually both low health. The artillery must have put in a good shot into the Ferdinand to take off a lot of this guy's health. And I wish these guys good luck because, yeah, They're going to need it. This is a very close game suddenly. Bearing in mind we were winning 5-0, 10-5. You know, it looked like it was going to be in the bag, and our M12 blats the Jagdtiger in the face, and the Panther comes round. And now's the Ferdinand. And there we go. That actually ended up being a win, but no thanks really to me and my actions toward the end of the game. So, lesson learned. Listen to those voices in your head. Know your enemy's armor scheme well, and go for the most reliable option. I should have taken armor piercing against that AMX CDC. The HE was a mistake. Anyway, let's go and have a look to see how well we did. Well, it all came right in the end. First class mastery, fire for effect, and bruiser, but they're not really the point of this video, but nonetheless. We actually came second on our team. Very well done to that M12 artillery piece for picking up almost 5,000 damage in a tier 7 machine. And massive commiserations to the enemy Ferdinand. Just shy of 6,000 damage in a Ferdy is very, very well done. We got 2,353 damage, 1 kill, and 1,072 base experience, with almost 1,000 assistance damage, and the armour held up fairly well, especially at range, blocking 2,850 damage with our armour. We made a 6,000 credit profit, and that 10 gold because there was an event running at the time. And without a premium account, that would have been a 46,000 credit profit. So it ended up being a decent game overall, despite a big mistake. Hopefully you guys can learn something from that, and remember to listen to the voices in your head, but not those ones. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe even found it slightly informative, whoever knows. Informative on the internet, I know, wonders never cease. If you did, by all means feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.